So, Oren, I want you to describe something that I've talked about a little bit, but I don't know if I've talked about it in this program. And it's very similar to what I experienced when George W. Bush became president, which is I knew a bunch of people who knew him when he was like an advisor to his dad and some punk kid, not the governor of Texas, let alone the president. And they all thought it was hilarious that their friend George was now the president of the United States. And even when he was governor. You're one of, I don't know you, I'm meeting you for the first time and delighted to, but I know tons of people like you who've known JD. They don't really call him anything else for years as like a guy you'd sit in with the bar and a guy who'd call you an asshole. What's it like to have your friend? And again, I'm not trying to elevate your relationship, but I know you know him pretty well. And I know lots of people who know him as well as you or roughly. What's it like to have your friend be the vice president?
It's certainly disorienting
Yeah.
in a lot of ways. I mean, I think it is a striking feature of our mainstream media that when Barack Obama made a somewhat similar rise to the top of American politics, the hagiography and celebration of it continues to this day. In a lot of ways, I think the vice president's rise is more impressive, and especially because, and this was the point I was trying to make on stage, he's now carrying out a set of ideas that he actually helped develop, and that's so rare in our politics, right? You see even the most talented politicians, they look around and they see whose ideas they like, and they pick them up and they run with them. And so to have somebody who was there at the creation of these ideas, they're actually his ideas in a lot of cases, now be out there. I find it fascinating, and I think it helps to explain why he's such an effective and articulate advocate, why he can go into the long form Sunday morning interview. And, it's the rare Sunday morning interview where you feel bad for the interviewer because he just, he knows this stuff better. He can argue it better. And so it's a very, I think, unique thing in our politics that we should be very appreciative of.
Yeah, Oren, it's a great point. I'm not as skilled as your colleague Drew Holden is as collecting and bringing the receipts to document egregious examples of liberal media bias. But you're absolutely right that if a Democratic vice president with the biography of JD Vance and the extraordinary rise in politics in such a short period of time and a great explainer of the ideas of his side of the aisle were now the vice president of the United States, he'd be lionized. And you could read every Washington Post story about JD Vance, every New York Times story, even every Wall Street Journal story, and they'd basically be neutral or very negative.
Well, and of course, the Wall Street Journal editorial page, of course, is
Yeah.
most negative at all.
Yes. I was including the editorial page in there.
Yeah, I mean, I've been fascinated by, because this is another element of it, of course, where someone like Obama was sort of the epitome and realization of what the entire Democratic apparatus had been trying to do. Vance comes from an insurgent or dissident posture. I mean, he is helping to remake the party, to challenge these institutions, to whether it's National Review or Wall Street Journal, talk about why they're wrong.
Yeah.
And so I think that's it's more powerful in some ways, and it comes. Obviously I think it's desperately needed.
The other day, I don't think I dreamed this. I think he wrote a letter to the Wall Street Journal, just
Yes.
like JD Vance. I don't know why he wrote it, how he wrote it. His tweets are quite provocative too. Sometimes it's just like you think he's been drinking at late night at the bar with you before he tweeted. But they're all a through line of a piece with the way he's like. Like what you see? Why don't you subscribe? This is a great opportunity to be part of unique conversations. Just hit the subscribe button. And if you want to watch our events live, go to twoway.tv.